You have to have
Jesse Stewart podcast.
the Phoenix.
Make it happen. The Phoenix podcast.
The Phoenix podcast. All right.
So, Jesse, I have a couple questions for you regarding your experiences in military career and also coming out of your military service. My first of all is, please just give me a basic rundown on what you did in the military, what your rank was.
Okay, I was an officer. Went to college first with the University of Washington, and my senior year, 9/11 happened. Saw the picture up there in my display case of me up on top of the World Trade Center a couple days before 9/11, and so went through my senior year. And everybody in college wants to be in the infantry. Everybody wants to be a ranger. But after 9/11 happened, I think there were probably about 25 guys that were initially committed to going infantry. And after 9/11 happened, there were 2 or 3 of us. And so I was branched in the infantry, got the opportunity to go to Ranger School right away, went, graduated, and then got the opportunity to go to the 82nd Airborne Division, which is also where Joint Special Operations Headquarters is located, which is what the Rangers fall under, and had an opportunity to command within Task Force 300 out of Fort Bragg, and commanded 149 incredible Rangers and Spartans. And made it up to the rank of major, and up to that point I was wounded 4 times, had 4 reconstructive surgeries in my left knee, and 10 years and 1 day of service, I was forced to retire medically. So I retired as a major, and then went in the civilian world, was fortunate enough to have gotten a couple of master's degrees when I was on active duty, and so got a civilian job, and then eventually taught at Grand Canyon University in the business school, and then started my own company. And now I'm just enjoying retired life, sort of.
Yeah. So I know you're still working, and I heard you mention 9/11, and when that happened, I was too young to remember it, as most people my age are. But what was that impact? That day goes down in history as one of the worst days in U.S. history. And how did that motivate you to serve your country?
Yeah, so that's interesting because my story, as we briefly talked about, I have a very long family history going all the way back to the French Indian War of my relatives that have served. The first one was one of Roger's Rangers, so that was kind of already in my blood. My grandfather served as well during the World War II Korea time period, and then my father served. And so we actually had, I think, 77 years of continuous military service between my grandfather, my father, and myself. And so 9/11 happening didn't change necessarily anything. However, what it did do was all of a sudden this is not a video game. And it was a very real thing that all of a sudden I'm going to have to do this for real. And there's going to be bullets definitely coming my way. And so 9/11 happening, it was just a very surreal experience. So I go in the infantry, and I was branched infantry a couple months after officially, and then just every step forward became more real and more real. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Forrest Gump or not, but there's a character named Lieutenant Dan. And for whatever reason, I was convinced that I had the same fate as he did, that I was not going to survive my first deployment in combat. And but I went in, and I did survive, almost died. A couple weeks into our deployment, my Humvee was going off the bridge, and I spent 4 minutes underwater and a few days in a coma. Came back out to the fight, and in terms of how it motivated me, I wanted to go over and do the right thing, and I wasn't the typical guy that thought I can even go crush these Muslims or Arabs or the people of the race that were responsible for 9/11. So for me, it was actually a much more epic struggle because I'd studied international studies in undergrad, spoke Arabic, and so when I went over there, I saw those people in a much different light than most people were capable of because I knew what they believed. I knew the difference between the Shia and the Sunni. I knew that they been at each other's throats more than Christians and Muslims would. And so I go over there and I'm struggling because I want to help. And my job was not to help. My job was to destroy, crush, and kill. But I found out very quickly that I could get a whole heck of a lot more done. More importantly, done surgically, meaning that I can find out exactly who that guy is, where he lives, what time he's going to be there, if I just work with people. Because they ultimately want what everyone wants: to be safe, provide for their family, and enjoy dinner at night. And so, for me, that it was such an interesting up and down throughout my career because of 9/11 happening, then my knowledge going into Iraq, knowing full well what was going to happen because of the way that we had treated the invasion, and then doing my part trying to fix it in 2006, 2007, and then unfortunately, the way that we withdrew from it didn't leave it in the best conditions. But all in all, I'm still very proud of what I did. Yeah, I've shown you some pictures of outside of fighting, and those are the only pictures my daughters will ever have of me in uniform. And I'm proud that I did it, but at the same time, it was just a really surreal experience, constantly going up and down. And you can armchair quarterback things all you want, but I think in the end, it's definitely led to this warrior yogi concept of embracing the warrior side, but embracing the yogi side as well, and being of service. And I can honestly say, man, I'm more proud of the fact that I got 122 disabled kids in wheelchairs, more than I am of any, all the awards that are up there for firefights. None of those awards are for saving people, for getting kids wheelchairs, for making them have a better quality of life, for bringing modern hospital equipment into a hospital in Baghdad. But that's the stuff that I'm proud of. Now, if you would have told me, like in 2001, hey, would you be more proud of doing this stuff or doing the direct action stuff? We said, direct action stuff. So it's interesting how things have changed in terms of my mindset and your perspective. But yeah, exactly. So I think I shared with you the downhill tech team when I went and talked to them, the female downhill tech team. After I showed them the video that you watched, and showed them a recruiting video of what we do and talking about my career, the only question they had for me was, what do you do for a rush now? And it was the first time I've ever been stumped. And couldn't come up with an immediate response in a public setting like that. But I finally said, you know what, being of service. And if you would have asked me that a year ago, 5 years ago, when I was your age, I would have never been able to come up with a question like that. And so I actually wrote on 9/11 this year, I wrote a post on social media that I just talked about how Al-Qaeda and ISIS now are what did we create with people like me now who have this warrior yogi attitude? Because that was not what their intent was. Their intent was to just make us turn on ourselves eventually. And instead, what it's done is it's opened me up to this, this view that I can have these open conversations with people that I never would in the past.
Well, I know that I want to first of all say thank you for your service. And then you were deployed for quite a while. You did 3 tours, right?
No, I was deployed 2003, 2004, 2005, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then a lot of short deployments in 2010, 2011. So that 9 deployment, total time I think was just over 7 years of my tenure.
So 7 years of overseas military work. And we talked earlier about what you guys did for fun on the base. And you mentioned that watching sports was one of the things that kept you guys sane, pretty much, and what really related you to members back home in the United States. And I want you to kind of elaborate on watching sports or maybe even the Olympics overseas and how that kept you in it and kept you motivated.
Yeah, so I always tell a story when I come back to speak to you guys. It's a new group of people, and I brought this up when I talked to your partner Summit. I would actually shut my guys down for operations. ISIS got a break when you guys were skiing on AFN, because AFN is the Armed Forces Network. It's a satellite, the one satellite channel that we have available to us, and it's whatever the military decides they're going to give, or government, I guess, give to us. And when the Super Bowl's played, they replay it 4 times during the day. So they play the initial one, which is 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they do a replay, 7, noon, all that stuff. So everyone has an opportunity to watch it. When the Olympics are on, it's the live Netherlands. That's all that you get to watch. And so I would literally schedule my operations around that schedule of sports, or the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. And for me, even before I had a relationship with ski and snowboard, those were the sports that, for whatever reason, now I know, but I just related to on a different level. And what that showed me was no matter how bad things had sucked the past 24 hours, I could check out momentarily from the horrific conditions that I was in, particularly in 06 and 07, and just be you know what, I'm really proud that I'm doing something that allows these athletes to do this. And I think for all of us in the military just because competition is, it's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We love it. You know, we would watch curling just because there was some aspect of competition. And we normally find like the most, you know, unattractive athlete type person on there just to root for them and get behind them.
The dark horse.
Exactly, the dark horse, my favorite concept. And but more importantly, it allowed me that opportunity for that mental and emotional recharge in order to get up and continue what I was doing. It's not easy to lose your best friend 4 weeks into command that just jumped in front of you, saved your life, and he sacrificed his. It's not easy to lose 9 guys in one day under your command and then have to, you know, lead from the front the next day because, you know, I have to be unbreakable. But for me, that's what sports provided me, was that recharge. And then even today, you know, that's still what it provides me for, is that recharge in life and helping me to expand on emotional existence.
Okay. So you're retired now. You hurt your knee, as you spoke on earlier, and you were forced to retire. You wouldn't have if you had the choice, but you were forced to retire. And you know, now that you're a civilian, you've kind of found your passion in helping other people, and specifically helping us snowboarders and skiers that you were snowboarding. And I want to ask you the question: how did you arrive at not only U.S. snowboarding, but helping other people, and how did that transition occur from military life to civilian and helping us?
Yeah, so the 2 parts that I heard on there was, you know, what brought me to the kind of the service minded attitude, and then how I got directly connected with you guys. So I'll answer the latter one first. So in 2015, I was invited to come out and speak to the rookie camp. They had some idea, they didn't know exactly how, but they just wanted to somehow incorporate it into the military. So they, through my nonprofit that I helped start, the American 300 Foundation, which initiatives provide scholarships for the 16 kids that were left behind when youth without fathers in 06, 07 deployment. And then we also did tours where we bring athletes over to bases overseas and bases locally here. And so I came over with my nonprofit, and I come in, and I was a Purple Heart retired Ranger that was going to come talk about, you know, resiliency or something.
Yes.
And so that's how it initially started, and I ended up meeting Luke Bodesteiner, your chief of sport and executive VP of athletics, and Tiger Shaw, your CEO. And we ended up staying in contact, and you know, they reached out to me and asked me to come back out to do kind of a smaller scale visit. I did that, and then it continued to just roll in. The former part of the question, service part, is a lot more complicated to answer. But I got to a point when I retired that I was in such a dark place, because my entire identity of myself was wrapped around being an Army Ranger. And when that was all of a sudden taken away from me, literally instantly when I woke up from the surgery. So it wasn't like, okay, I got wounded in combat, I have to just accept that I've been wounded. This was something that I did not see coming at all. It was a very simple surgery, and I woke up and they informed me that my career was over. And I got, once that was taken away from me, I just continued to isolate myself in this very dark place. And I think this is just good lessons for anything in life, but when when self-talk or self-motivation doesn't work, try helping someone else or motivating someone else and watch them rise up. And there's just something weird on a psychological level that I can't even begin to describe that elevates you at the same time. And so about 15 months ago, I decided that was the mindset and mentality that I was going to have with everything that I did. And I redirected the mission of my company towards that, and you know, we started the Phoenix Project, and you know, God willing, the book will be out, you know, early next year. But I found that is how I've been able to come out of the ashes of good, is by having an attitude of service, of being more concerned about what can Jason get out of this visit rather than what can I or my guys get out of this visit. And I found that, you know, this entire time, man, this has been about you. It's been about promoting you and advocating for you and setting you up to talk to the right people. And what I found is, man, I feel pretty awesome right now, because I'm seeing what this has given, you know, you, and seeing what you've been able to give to my guys, who, man, in the world, to be able to say, man, I'm shooting with a U.S. snowboarder. I mean, that means the world to us. And I've been a little sensitized to it because I get to do it more often. But that gives me continued appreciation and just adds to my gratitude list. And just to add one thing onto that, one of my daily routines every night is before I go to bed, I make 2 lists.
Yeah.
I do one list is a fear and resentment list. So I write down all my fears, like what I'm worried about, what I'm worried about with my daughters, what I'm worried about with life, whatever. And then resentment stuff, like somebody wronged me or something like that. Like I'll write that down. So I write it down and say there's 10 things on that list. Just say it. What I'll do is I'll then go over to the other side of the paper and I'll write down all the things I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
And I will not stop until I get to at least +1 from the first list. So there's 10 things on the fear list, there's gotta be +11 on the gratitude list. And you know what I found? No matter how pissed off I am, or angry I am, or bitter I am, after I'm done with that, man, I'm like, why was I so pissed off in the first place? Look at all this stuff that I have the opportunity to be grateful for. And just to take that to another level, now what I do is when I wake up in the morning, part of my morning routine is write down my gratitude list of what I'm going to be grateful for today. And man, you know what? It's just amazing what that's done for my mindset. I don't know if that'll work for everybody, but I know for this guy, that definitely has worked. And I think that ties into ultimately how I've been able to get to this point of appreciating the opportunity to serve.
Absolutely. Well, I have one more question for you, and it regards, you've been mentioning, and we've been talking about the resilient mindset, and you briefly mentioned, your pillars of concrete stuff that you really focus on. Could you run me through those pillars one more time and tell me what they all represent?
Yeah, so the 4 pillars of resiliency, it's nothing novel, it's nothing new. I found a way for to work as a model in my life and then share with people like, hey, what I'm doing in life is not exactly going to work for you. You can use the model to build off of. So the first pillar is mental, second is emotional, third is physical, and fourth is spiritual. And what I found in my life is that if I'm weak in any one area, or if I'm really strong in one area, if you think of it like a 4-legged stool, what happens when you have one leg that's incredibly weak? You're gonna fall over, right? Or if you have one that's really strong and 3 that are weak, it's gonna topple over the second somebody pushes you. Or let's say you are rolling in life and you are strong in all 4, but all of a sudden you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna cut out one of these stools. You're gonna instantly fall over. So for me, it's been about living this balanced lifestyle in terms of that I can't have that stability. Now, I think I talked to you guys about this last time. One of the things, the struggles that I ran into about 10, 11 months ago is stability is great for normal people. But for high-performing individuals, or at least those of us that think we're high-performing and the high-performing individuals, stability is not always a good thing. Because stability leads to stagnation. Stagnation leads to being bored. And for someone like myself, when I'm bored, I cause trouble. And so I struggled initially with how do I create growth? And that was when I added in the mindfulness component to my life. Meditation, yoga, breathing exercises and all that stuff. And what I found is that adding that component in almost acts like a piece of reinforcing twine around those 4 pillars. And what that does is that then allows for growth from that period. And so that's what those 4 pillars mean to me. And when I wake up in the morning, when I look at I call it my to-be list, to-do list. So I'm more focused on what I want to be rather than what I want to do. Doesn't mean I can do away the to-do list. But when I focus on that, or when I look at that, I'm like, okay, is everything on here? Can I show that I'm advancing one of those 4 pillars to what I've got on my schedule today? If I can't, then I won't do it. Or I'll reevaluate why I'm doing what I'm doing and make sure the intentions are in the right place. And oftentimes that's all it is that my intentions are just in the right place. And once I'm able to correct that, it's amazing how, if my intention is set that way, how no matter what I'm doing, how I can be of service to one another. Back to like urbanism. If my intention is, how is this going to promote Jesse Stewart's brand or my brand, right? How's this going to promote a 300 brand? That right there is a guaranteed route to failure for someone like me at least. But if I go into there and I look on this to-be list of, okay, what is Jason going to get out of this? What is his dad going to get out of this? What would Jackson get out of it if I was able to set something up with John Buckley or something? Once I start working with that mindset, and that's my true intention, it's amazing how just all of us get so much more out of what we were doing. And like those criminals, they would have never met with all of us. If they would have got one little like inkling that this was about me, or me trying to sell them something, or advocate for myself, because they have people all the time, retired people who are trying to use their rank, use their Purple Hearts to get contracts, or this is not about a contract. This is about providing a link, for you and for them to help each other, be better at what they do. And all I am, I'm just happy to be a facilitator of that. And while I love shooting, I love shooting, I love working out, I love being in the dirt with those guys. That wasn't my job. My job was to facilitate resources for them to be able to do that. Now, did I go out and shoot with them? Absolutely. Did I work out with them? Absolutely. More than I should have. And they probably got less of a quality product in the end because I spent all that time. But, that's what my job is. And so that's the way I look at things now. And I'll tell you what, one thing that I never had in my life up until 12 months ago was this thing called contentness. Because with me, and I think a lot of athletes who probably struggle with this, is we live life on these really high highs, and we live life on these really low lows, and there's no in between. There's no baseline. But the problem with that, so like for you, in a sense, is like, okay, you podium. Awesome. Okay, I got fourth by 1/100th of a point. Life sucks. And so we've got this delta, right? Well, the problem with that is the fall. When you only live on those two planes, the fall from the high is so dramatic down the low that the consequences can be detrimental. And the climb, once you're from the low back up to the high, is like climbing Mount Everest sometimes. But what I found, now that I'm operating on a baseline of contentness, that I'm just generally happy for the things that I have in my life, through gratitude lists and all that stuff, is that I can go back up to the highs and experience them. But when I go back to contentness, it's like a step down. It's a more manageable step down. And then when I have the lows, which don't get me wrong, life's not all butterflies and unicorns and rainbows. To be able to get back up to that contentness baseline is a much more manageable task. And that's something that I never had before. Life was either really, really great or it really, really sucked. And now I operate in that baseline of contentness, and life's really good. And hey, hang out with people like you and your dad, and the rest of the athletes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jesse. I'm glad you're content. I'm glad you're happy, and I'm glad you're working with us.
All right.
Thank you so much.